Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chapter 16, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes nectar from the lips of Lord Sri Krishna. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who personally tasted the nectar of ecstatic love for Krishna, and then instructed his devotees how to taste it. Thus he enlightened them about ecstatic love of Krishna to initiate them into transcendental knowledge. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus stayed at Jagannath Puri in the association of his devotees, always merged in ecstatic devotional love. The next year, as usual, all the devotees from Bengal went to Jagannath Puri, and as in previous years, there was a meeting between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the devotees. Along with the devotees from Bengal came a gentleman named Kalidas. He never uttered anything but the holy name of Krishna. Kalidas was a very advanced devotee, yet he was simple and liberal. He would chant the holy name of Krishna while performing all his ordinary dealings. When he used to throw dice in jest, he would chant Hare Krishna while throwing the dice. Kalidas was an uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami. Throughout his entire life, even in his old age, he tried to eat the remnants of the food left by Vaishnavas. Kalidas ate the remnants of food of as many Vaishnavas as there were in Bengal. He would go to all the Vaishnavas born in Brahmana families, be they neophyte or advanced devotees, and present them with gifts of first-class eatables. He would beg remnants of food from such Vaishnavas, and if he did not receive any, he would hide. After the Vaishnavas finished eating, they would throw away their leaf dishes, and Kalidas would come out of hiding, take the leaves and lick up the remnants. He would also take gifts to the homes of Vaishnavas born in Sudra families. Then he would hide, and in this manner eat the remnants of food they threw away. There was a great Vaishnava named Yadu Thakur, who belonged to the Bunimali caste. Kalidas went to his home, taking mangoes with him. Kalidas presented the mangoes to Yadu Thakur and offered him respectful obeisances. Then he also offered respectful obeisances to the Thakur's wife. When Kalidas went to Yadu Thakur, he saw that saintly person sitting with his wife. As soon as Yadu Thakur saw Kalidas, he likewise offered his respectful obeisances unto him. After a discussion with Kalidas that lasted for some time, Yadu Thakur spoke the following sweet words. I belong to a low caste, and you are a very respectful guest. How shall I serve you? If you will permit me, I shall send some food to a Brahmana's house, and they may take prasadam. If you do so, I shall then live very comfortable. Kalidas replied, My dear sir, please bestow your mercy upon me. I have come to see you, although I am very fallen and sinful. Simply by seeing you, I have become purified. I am very much obligated to you, for my life is now successful. My dear sir, I have one desire. Please be merciful to me by kindly placing your feet upon my head, so that the dust on your feet may touch it. Yadu Thakur replied, It does not befit you to ask this of me. I belong to a very low caste family, whereas you a respectable, rich gentleman. Kalidas then recited some verses which Yadu Thakur was very happy to hear. Even though one is a very learned scholar in Sanskrit literature, if he is not engaged in pure devotional service, he is not accepted as my devotee. But if someone born in a family of dog-eaters is a pure devotee with no motives for enjoyment through fruitive activity or mental speculation, he is very dear to me. All respect should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted, for such devotees are indeed as worshipful as I am. A person may be born in a Brahmana family and have all 12 Brahminical qualities, but if, in spite of being qualified, he is not devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who has a navel shaped like a lotus, he is not as good as a Chandala, who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the service of the Lord. Simply to take birth in a Brahmana family or to have Brahminical qualities is not sufficient. One must become a pure devotee of the Lord. If a Swapasha or Chandala is a devotee, he delivers not only himself but his whole family, whereas a Brahmana who is not a devotee but simply has Brahminical qualifications cannot even purify himself. What to speak of his family? My dear Lord, anyone who always keeps your holy name on his tongue is greater than an initiated Brahmana. Although he may be born in a family of dog-eaters and therefore by material calculations be the lowest of men, he is glorious nevertheless. That is the wonderful power of chanting the holy name of the Lord. One who chants the holy name is understood to have performed all kinds of austerities. He has studied all the Vedas. He has performed all the great sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas, and he has already taken his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. It is he who is factually the Aryan. Hearing these quotations from the revealed scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Yadu Thakur replied, "Yes, this is true, for it is the version of Shastra. It is true, however, for one who is genuinely advanced in devotion to Krishna. Such a position may befit others, but I do not possess such spiritual power. I belong to a lower class and have not even a pinch of devotion to Krishna." Kalidas again offered his obeisances to Yadu Thakur and asked his permission to go. The saint Yadu Thakur followed him as he left. After bidding farewell to Kalidas, Yadu Thakur returned to his home, leaving the marks of his feet plainly visible in many places. Kalidas smeared the dust from those footprints all over his body. Then he hid in a place near Yadu Thakur's home. Upon returning home, Yadu Thakur saw the mangoes Kalidas had presented. Within his mind, he offered them to Krishna Chandra. Yadu Thakur's wife then took the mangoes from their covering of banana tree leaves and bark and offered them to Yadu Thakur, who began to suck and eat them. When he finished eating, he left the seeds on the banana leaf, and his wife, after feeding her husband, later began to eat. After she finished eating, she filled the banana leaves and bark with the seeds, picked up the refuse, and then threw it into the ditch where all the refuse was thrown. Kalidas licked the banana bark and the mango seeds and skins, and while licking, He was overwhelmed with jubilation and ecstatic love. In this way, Kalidas ate the remnants of food left by all the Vaishnavas residing in Bengal. When Kalidas visited Jagannath Puri Nilachal, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed great mercy upon him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would regularly visit the temple of Jagannath every day, and at the time, Govinda, his personal servant, used to carry his water pot and go with him. On the northern side of the Simhadwara behind the door, there are 22 steps leading to the temple, and at the bottom of those steps is a ditch. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would wash his feet in the ditch, and then he would enter the temple to see Lord Jagannath. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered his personal servant Govinda that no one should take the water that had washed his feet. Because of the Lord's strict order, no living being could take the water. Some of his intimate devotees, however, would take it by some trick. One day, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was washing his feet in that place, Kalidas came and extended his palm to take the water. Kalidas drank one palmful, and then a second and a third. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forbade him to drink more. Do not act in this way anymore. I have fulfilled your desire as far as possible. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most exalted, omniscient, supreme personality of Godhead, and therefore he knew that Kalidas, in the core of his heart, had full faith in Vaishnavas. Because of this quality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu satisfied him with mercy not attainable by anyone else. On the southern side, behind and above the 22 steps, is a deity of Lord Nishingadev. It is on the left as one goes up the steps towards the temple. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his left side toward the deity, offered obeisances to Lord Nishingadev. As he proceeded towards the temple, he recited the following verses again and again while offering obeisances. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, Lord Nishingadev. You are the giver of pleasure to Maharaj Prahlad, and your nails cut the chest of Hiranyakshipu like a chisel cutting stone. Lord Nishingadev is here, and he is also there on the opposite side. Wherever I go, there I see Lord Nishingadev. He is outside and within my heart. Therefore I take shelter of Lord Nishingadev, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Having offered obeisances to Lord Nishingadev, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the temple of Lord Jagannath. Then he returned to his residence, finished his noon duties, and took his lunch. Kalidas was standing outside the door, expecting the remnants of food from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Knowing this, Mahaprabhu gave an indication to Govinda. Govinda understood all the indications of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore he immediately delivered the remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's food to Kalidas. Taking the remnants of the food of Vaishnavas is so valuable that it induced Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to offer Kalidas his supreme mercy. Therefore, giving up hatred and hesitation, tried to eat the remnants of the food of Vaishnavas, with a capital. For you will thus be able to achieve your desired goal of life. The remnants of food offered to Lord Krishna are called Mahaprasadam. After this same Mahaprasadam has been taken by a devotee, the remnants are elevated to Mahaprasadam. the dust of the feet of a devotee, the water that has washed the feet of a devotee, and the remnants of food left by a devotee are three very powerful substances. By rendering service to these three, one attains the supreme goal of ecstatic love for Krishna. In all the revealed scriptures, this is loudly declared again and again. Therefore, my dear devotees, please hear from me, for I insist again and again. Please keep faith in these three and render service to them without hesitation. From these three, one achieves the highest goal of life, ecstatic love of Krishna. This is the greatest mercy of Lord Krishna. The evidence is Kalidas himself. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at Jagannath Puri, Nilachal, and he invisibly bestowed great mercy upon Kalidas. That year, Shivananda Sen brought with him his wife and youngest son, Puridas. Taking his son, Shivananda Sen went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his residence. He made his son offer respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of the Lord. Again and again, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the boy to chant the name of Krishna, but the boy would not utter the holy name. Although Shivananda Sen tried with much endeavor to get his boy to speak Krishna's holy name, the boy would not utter it. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I have induced the whole world to take the holy name of Krishna. I have induced even the trees and immovable plants to chant the holy name. But I could not induce this boy to chant the holy name of Krishna. Hearing this, Swarup Damodar Goswami began to speak. My Lord, he said, you have given him initiation into the name of Krishna, but after receiving the mantra, he will not express it in front of everyone. This boy chants the mantra within his mind, but does not say it aloud. That is his intention as far as I can guess. Another day, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to the boy, recite, my dear Puridas, the boy composed the following verse and expressed it before everyone. Lord Sri Krishna is just like a bluish lotus flower for the ears. He is ointment for the eyes, a necklace of Indranila gems for the chest, and universal ornaments for the Gopi damsels of Vrindavan. Let that Lord Sri Hari Krishna be glorified. Although the boy was only 7 years old and still had no education, he composed such a nice verse. Everyone was struck with wonder. This is the glory of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy, which even the demigods headed by Lord Brahma cannot estimate. All the devotees remained with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continuously for 4 months. Then the Lord ordered them back to Bengal, and therefore they returned. As long as the devotees were in Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu maintained his external consciousness, but after their departure, his chief engagement was again the madness of ecstatic love for Krishna. Throughout the entire day and night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly relished Krishna's beauty, fragrance and taste as if he were touching Krishna's hand to hand. One day, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to visit the temple of Lord Jagannath, the gatekeeper of the Simhadwara approached him and offered respectful obeisances. The Lord asked him, "Where is Krishna, my life and soul? Please show me Krishna." Saying this, he caught the doorkeeper's hand. The doorkeeper replied, "The son of Maharaj Nanda is here. Please come along with me, and I shall show you." Lord Chaitanya said to the doorman, "You are my friend. Please show me where the Lord of my heart is." After the Lord said this, they both went to the place known as Jagamohan, where everyone views Lord Jagannath. "Just see," the doorkeeper said. "Here is the best of the personality of Godhead. From here you may see the Lord to the full satisfaction of your eyes." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed behind a huge column called the Garuda Stamba and looked upon Lord Jagannath. But as he looked, he saw that Lord Jagannath had become Lord Krishna with his flute to his mouth. In his book known as Gauranga Stava Kalpa Vriksha, Raghunath Das Goswami has described this incident very nicely. "My dear friend, the doorkeeper, where is Krishna, the Lord of my heart? Kindly show him to me quickly." With these words, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu addressed the doorkeeper like a madman. The doorkeeper grasped his hand and replied very hastily, "Come, see your beloved. May that Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within my heart, and thus make me mad also." The offering of food, known as Gopala Balaba Bhoga, was then given to Lord Jagannath, and arati was performed with the sound of the conch and the ringing of bells. When the arati finished, the prasadam was taken out, and the servants of Lord Jagannath came to offer some to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The servants of Lord Jagannath first garlanded Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then offered him Lord Jagannath's prasadam. The prasadam was so nice that its aroma alone, to say nothing of its taste, would drive the mind mad. The prasadam was made of very valuable ingredients, therefore the servant wanted to feed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a portion of it. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tasted a portion of the prasadam. Govinda took the rest and bound it in the end of his wrapper. To Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the prasadam tasted millions upon millions of times better than nectar, and thus he was fully satisfied. The hair all over his body stood on end, and incessant tears flowed from his eyes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered, "Where has such a taste in this prasadam come from? Certainly it is due to its having been touched by the nectar of Krishna's lips." Understanding this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt so an emotion of ecstatic love for Krishna, but upon seeing the servants of Lord Jagannath, he restrained himself. The Lord said again and again, "Only by great fortune may one come by a particle of the remnants of food offered to the Lord." The servants of the Jagannath temple inquired, "What is the meaning of this?" Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, "These are remnants of food that Krishna has eaten and thus turned the nectar with his lips. It surpasses heavenly nectar, and even such demigods as Lord Brahma find it difficult to obtain. Remnants left by Krishna are called phela. Anyone who obtains even a small portion must be considered very fortunate." So we stop here and continue tomorrow. Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Anjalila chapter 16. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes nectar from the lips of Lord Sri Krishna Ki Jai. Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev. Didi, will you please chant? Hare Rama Krishna Rama Rama Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama
Chandra Radhara Srivasari Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatan Tata Raghunatha Shri Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Jai Gosai Gari Charana Vandana Yahrite Vignana Savista Purana Jai Gosai Jara Muitara Dasa Dasabara Padare Numora Panchagrasa Charera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevasa Janame Mora Hei Abilasa Jai Gosai Jave Braja Koila Vasa Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha Anande Bolori Pacha Vrinaya Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Madhaiya Mana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Karihasha Hari Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narotamanasa Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Sri Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Sabashada Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki Sabashada Sima Mahaprabhu ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Tulasi Maharani ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Ganga Yamuna Ju ki Sri Navatvip Dham ki Sri Mayapur Dham ki Sri Vrindavan Dham ki Sri Purushottama Dham ki Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju ki Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat West London Chapter ki Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat East London Chapter ki Samadvaita Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Samadvaita Vaishnava Mandala ki Harinam Sankirtan ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Ananda Swarupuni Devi Dasi ki Jai.